Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. It is Jen with Hominess Plants and I am back with another memory spread. For this memory spread, I will be planning out the week of February 20th through February 26th, and I'm utilizing this gorgeous kit from Miss+Meow, and for the life of me, I cannot remember the name of this kit. I know I just showed it to you guys, but it passed by like really quick. I know it was like rainy day themed, and I loved the colored story in it with the silver tones and the mauvey purples and everything, and the name is blanking on me. I am so sorry. But anyways, I love how this kit turned out. I was originally planning on using this kit in December, but the more that I looked at it and was going through more of my kits, I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to save this for a winter transition kit into spring. So I switched it up in my lineup, and I'm so happy that I used it for this week. I chose it for this week because this is the week of our film festival that my family hosts all the time, and for the past several years, it's been like rainy and kind of cold not kind of cold, like freezing cold during that week. And I was like, okay, this will be perfect. And wouldn't you know it, the time that I actually used like a rainy day kit for that week, it was like perfect weather. Like it was sunshiny and breezy, and all you needed, I felt like the girl from Miss Congeniality, all you needed was a light jacket. Anyways, it was really great, and yeah, so my planner is very rainy day themed, even though this week was not. I loved how I did the base of this spread. In the sidebar, I pulled in a bunch of alcohol ink swatches to make them look like storm clouds. I remember sitting down like and planning this. I was like, man, I really wish I would have like hit up Paper Trail Plans for their clouds, because that would have worked out perfectly for what I was going for. But I think it turned out great. I love the effect, and I love how shiny and foiled it is whenever I do like a nice little Viv wiggle. I did get to pull in a part of one of the little fences from Ink Paper Plan, and the little girl with her umbrella. I just thought it was so perfect, and I pulled in so many like droops, like teardrop droops and everything from the Giving Girl and the Pretty Pink Coat, and I pulled in a bunch of like droop garlands from Buttercream stickers. Actually, the foiled washi trim that's at the bottom, that's from Buttercream stickers, and the dotted washi at the top, that's from Buttercream stickers too. I am falling in love with her shop. Actually, the next kit that I'm planning with is from Buttercream stickers, and I am so stinking excited. Like, she keeps having these drops and these releases that I'm just like obsessed with, and I'm gonna like preach it till I'm blue in the face. You need to check out her shop. Her kits are beautiful, and her dainty foiled stickers are phenomenal. I've used them in several spreads thus far, and they're fabulous. Okay, so here you can see kind of what I did in the sidebar with those alcohol ink swatches, making them look like storm clouds. I pulled in a bunch of like dot stickers from Sadie Stickers too to make it look like there were raindrops jumping off of the girl's umbrella. I thought it was really cute. There were several different like girls with umbrellas that I was going back and forth with, and there was another girl whose like outfit would have matched better, but I liked this girl's umbrella. I felt like the colors matched better. I know there's like red on her dress, but whatever, it is what it is. I love the base of the spread. I thought it was very simple. I pulled in that layered garland washi from Miss+Meow and just made it look like raindrops coming down from those alcohol ink swatches, and I don't know, I just thought it was very pretty. I did use the date covers from the kit. I've done that with the past several spreads that I've done. Not that I don't love DIY date covers. I think I've talked about this before, but I was just craving using date covers that came with the kit. So I've been doing that with the last couple spreads, and I'm not mad at it. I'll probably do some DIY date covers soon, but in the meantime, I've really been enjoying, you know, stretching my creative muscles and learning how to do, you know, doing some date cover deco with date covers that come with the kit. Anyways, okay, jumping into the day by day. On Monday, I was up early, so to mark that, I pulled in I pulled in a lot of alcohol ink swatches throughout this kit because I wanted to make it look like it was storm clouds, and I love the effect. I did layer it. That's actually a box, a small HP mini box that I picked up from Perky's Papery. The colorway is Storm, so I figured it matched perfectly. I did layer some droop garlands from Buttercream Stickers, pulled in some dot clusters from Honey Inked, layered some florals from the kit, and then the alarm clock icon is from the kit. I marked that I went to the gym with my best friend, and I just marked that with some florals from the kit, and the shoe icon is from Crafts by Towie. Okay, I marked that I had to prep an effects class. Okay, so that, like I said in the beginning, this was the week of our independent film festival, and I was one of the presenters. I was a presenter last year as well, and I talked about how to build a special effects kit on a budget. And this year I was talking about realism and effects. So like, when you do special effects makeup, like let's say you're doing a special effects wound or whatever, nothing bothers me more as an effects artist than when I watch like an action movie and someone gets punched in the face and the bruise looks like it's like 3 days old. So that's just kind of an abbreviated rundown of what my class was on. I was talking about like realism and special effects, and it was a lot of fun, but I had to look up some reference photos and I had to put together the workshop. So I marked that with one of the swatch boxes that came with the kit, layered it with some florals, and then the icon is from the kit as well. I marked that I made some food for me and my husband, so I pulled in another alcohol ink swatch, layered it with that's a midi foiled box from Paper Trail Plans, layered it with a bunch of florals. I pulled in a bunch of like droop garland or droop dangles. That's what they're called, but yeah, it kind of sounds gross. Anyways, I pulled in a bunch of droop dangles and whatnot because I wanted to make it look like the columns were like rainy and gloomy, and that's kind of the effect that I had with a bunch of these like droops and whatnot. I marked that we went over to my parents' house on this day, and then to cap off the night, me and my hubby just sat down and watched TV together, and I've got to pick up some of those standalone TV icons from Miss+Meow because I love the size and I love like the design of it. I just think it's so cute. Okay, so jumping over to Tuesday, I marked that I was up early again, and I pulled in one of the scallop circles that comes with the kit, layered it with some droop garlands from Buttercream Stickers. I pulled in some dotted droops from Sadie Stickers, some florals from the kit, and then the alarm clock icon is from Crafts by Towie. I marked that I went to the gym once again with my best friend. I pulled in a quarter box from I did pull in one of those flourishes from Crafts by Towie. It's one of my favorites. It's such a classic. I marked going to the gym with a quarter box from the kit, and then the little shoe icon is once again from Crafts by Towie. I marked that I had to take some effects pictures because I was, once again working on my effects class. I was presenting the next day, so I had to really get it together. So to mark that, I layered the swatch square midi box with the lace midi box square. That's really confusing how I talked about that, but I layered those together with some florals, and then I pulled in some droop garlands from Buttercream Stickers and a dot cluster from Sadie Stickers, and then the camera icon is from Waiter Stationery. And I just what I was doing is I was recreating real wounds, and I was going to show my the filmmakers and who I was presenting to the difference between like using a reference picture and how it enhances your effects was whenever you use pictures from life. Then I marked that we had some intern interviews. So every year, the local university here, there's a film program, and we always have interns that we're able to give hours to for their film projects, film hours, and the director of the festival, myself, my dad, the owners of the festival, we go and we, interview the interns and find out who, what we need to do for them, like give them the letterhead that they need and all that stuff. So to mark that, I pulled in some florals from the kit, and then the little chair icon is from the kit as well. And I don't see what happened on the end of the day on Tuesday, so we're just going to jump over to Wednesday. Okay, on Wednesday, I marked getting up early the same way as I marked it on Monday with one of those mini boxes from Perky's Papery. Layered it with an alcohol ink swatch and some garlands from Buttercream Stickers. And okay, throughout the rest of this week, I mark PCFF And I got this trick from watching A Plan With Me from Rachel. She uses those little lace trims from the kit. She cuts them in half and then she layers them with florals. And I love the way that looked. So that's how I mark PCFF. PCFF stands for Prison City Film Festival. So I marked that with one of the pieces of lace, layered it with some florals. And then that's a little swatch that came with the kit. I wish there was more. There was only one, so I end up pulling in some extras throughout the rest of the week, but I wish Regina would add more of those like narrow swatches. Okay, so I marked my effects workshop. This was the day that I presented, so I marked that with a swatch box that came with the kit, layered it with some florals, and then the icon is from White Deer Stationery. And then I marked that there were just films all day. You know, day one of the festival is basically we have a workshop, and then we show a bunch of independent films that were submitted to us. So to mark that, I pulled in an alcohol ink swatch, layered it with some florals, pulled in a bunch of like droops and garlands and things like that. And then the little clapper is actually from the Glitter Mama. Then I marked that I had interviews with the filmmakers. So I'm the host of the festival and my job is basically to sit down and get some FaceTime with the filmmakers. And to mark that, I just layered some florals, and then the little microphone icon is from Planning World. I miss Yuan's icons. I have a whole backstock, but I don't really pull them in very often because I just don't know if she's ever going to come back with them, and I miss them. Okay, anyways, to cap off the rest of Wednesday, I marked that we just scheduled out the week. So me, my sister, who is the director of the festival, and then the associate director, we sat down and we scheduled out the rest of the week, meaning like when I was going to be interviewing filmmakers, when I had Q&As, things of that nature. So I pulled in a third box, layered it with some florals, and then the clipboard that came with the kit. Okay, jumping over to Thursday, I marked PCFF Day 2, and you guys can see I pulled in one of those, that's a swatch, like a paint swatch box that I had just in my collection. And I did the same trick where I pulled in a piece of that lace, layered it with some florals, and then pulled in the swatch sticker box that came from my collection. Then I marked all the films, and I marked that with another scalloped circle that came with the kit, layered it with some florals, some dot clusters, and then those garlands are from Buttercream Stickers. And I pulled in another one of those slates from the Glitter Mama, pulled in another flourish from Crafts by Towie. Okay, I marked, so the director that I worked with on my very first feature, he submitted another film to the film festival, and we've become like really, really good friends. So I marked that he got into town on this night, which is super fun. It's always fun when you get to hang out with people who you don't get to see very often. So to mark that, I pulled in some florals that came with the kit, and then the little car. Oh gosh, is that the car that came with the kit? I have no idea. I think it is. I think that's the car that came with the kit, but yeah, that's the car that came with the kit. It looks very similar to the car that comes, that is from White Deer Stationery. Okay, then I marked that my husband had a show. So at every film festival on Thursday night, my husband and his band perform, and it's always such a good time. I love watching my husband perform. He's amazing on stage, and it's just, I swoon. But anyways, I marked that by layering some boxes from the kit with some florals. And then once again, that microphone icon is from Planning World. And then I say this all the time, but it's not a Submit Thy Will show if we don't go to IHOP afterwards. So me, my husband's drummer, and then the director who, like I said, came to town, who I worked with on the feature, and then another one of our friends, we all went out to IHOP afterwards and just had a good time. We were there until like super late, which probably wasn't the smartest idea because we had to get up early the next day, but whatever, it was a good time. I do like the way that I marked IHOP. That's the utensils icon that came with the kit, and I layered it with some florals and a bunch of foiled accents. Okay, on Friday, I marked that I had more filmmaker interviews, and I marked that with another swatch box and another midi box from Perky's Paperie and some garlands. I marked PCFF Day 3. That's the same way that I've been marking Day 1 and Day 2. Okay, I marked that we went to this place called Mr. Hamburger. It's a local hamburger shop. It's kind of like 50s style diner, and the we just took a lunch break, a group of us went over there. So to mark that, I pulled in some florals, and then that hamburger icon is from White Deer Stationery. And then, so it's so funny because during the film festival, I feel like we do the same stuff. Like during that week, it feels super jam-packed, but it's like in my planner, it looks super repetitive because every day I have filmmaker interviews and there's more films that get shown, because I think we end up screening like 87 films in a time span of like, it's either 87 or like 90. I don't remember. There's a lot of independent films that get screened, and then there's also like workshops and a bunch of like other things to do throughout the week. Like when I think about it, I'm like, oh man, there's so much. But then I put it down on my planner and I can't like list every single thing because I just don't have the room in the column. So I try to mark the things that would be interesting to mark, but it ends up getting super repetitive. So anyways, long-winded rant about how I just marked that there were more films that were screened. And I marked that with the swatch box, or with the alcohol ink swatch, and then another slate from the Glitter Mama. I did mark that afterwards. We went and we hung out. There's a bar that's affiliated. It's one of our sponsors for the film festival and everything. And it stays open. Obviously it's a bar. It stays open late. So after that night of the festival, we went over and we all just kind of hung out. I don't drink, so I just was kind of hanging out with people. Me and my husband were. And then we went home and I had a bath because I was exhausted. Okay, so on Saturday, I marked that this was the PCFF finale day. So I marked that the same way as I've been marking it, with the lace trim and the florals. I'm marking the last day of films with that scallop circle from the kit, layered it with those dotted garlands from Buttercream Stickers, and the slate from the Glitter Mama, pulled in another flourish from Crafts by Towie, and a bunch of dot clusters. Okay, so I'm marking that there was a crawfish festival, and this is a thing so in our town, there's like the historic downtown portion, and they wanted to be affiliated with something that we do for the film festival because we're growing and it's a way to get exposure for the downtown, like local businesses. So they put on a crawfish festival in association and affiliation with the film festival, and it was right outside of the theater that we hosted at and everything, and there were a ton of people there, so it was like kind of a big deal. So to mark that, I pulled in a lace midi box from the kit and the balloons from the kit as well. I just thought that icon was so adorable, and I didn't have a crawfish icon, so I figured it worked. I marked that I had more interviews, so I marked that with some florals from the kits, and then another microphone from Planning World. And then I marked that it was awards night, and there were all kinds of stuff that happened on the awards night. Like, awards night is a big deal, so I just marked awards night festivities, and I pulled in another swatch box that came with the kit, layered it with some more florals and some teardrop, they're not teardrop, those are just drops from the Pretty Pink Co. Like I said, I wanted to make it look like there were raindrops on either side of the columns. And then to mark awards, I just pulled in one of those flower bouquets because I didn't have a trophy sticker, but I figured the flowers work, right? Right. Okay. On Sunday, I marked that we slept in because we were exhausted on this day, and I marked that with the other midi lace box that came with the kit. Layered it with some more garlands from the Buttercream Stickers. And I pulled in that candle icon that came with the kit. I could have pulled in a sleep mask, but I wanted to use as many of the icons from the kit as possible. And I figured, that worked. Okay, I marked that I had lunch with my director friend and then the stunt coordinator who actually worked on the feature film as well. We all created like this, when you work on a film set, or at least I've been lucky enough to, I've worked on a ton of movie sets, but like I created this like really strong bond with that first crew that I worked with. And maybe it's because it's the very first feature I worked on, and I don't know, I just created like lifelong friends there. But anyways, the stunt coordinator, he also submitted a film to the festival. And so this was like the last day that everyone was going to be here. So we went out to lunch on this day, which was a lot of fun. And to mark that, I pulled in some florals from the kit, and the utensils are from Crafts by Towie. Again, pulled in a bunch of like droop garlands, or drop, whatever you want to call them, dangles to make it look like raindrops. Then I marked that me and my husband and then the stunt coordinator went on a hike because he wanted to fly his new drone and everything. Which my husband and I took him to one of our favorite trails. It's actually, fun story, it's actually the trail that my husband proposed to me on, which that's fun. So to mark that, I pulled in a midi box that came with the kit, layered it with some florals, and then the shoe icon is from the kit. Then I marked that we had to clean up the theater. So the theater that we rent to do the film festival, obviously when you turn it back over, you have to make sure that it's like pristine and in 100% clean condition. So on this day, the whole family got together and we cleaned the whole theater, and yeah, then I did some laundry. So that was fun. These are the leftovers that I have from this kit along with the Viv Wiggle. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new here, hi, I'm Jen. I do planner things. I feel like this voiceover was a little bit like rambly and sped up and kind of all over the place, but that's just kind of how my voiceovers are. So if you're still here, you're a gem. And yeah, if I missed anything or you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments below. I hope everybody is staying safe and staying well, and hopefully I will see you all in the next one. Bye guys.